Thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate you taking the time to be here. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your organization.
Well, thank you for the invite. We are super excited and honored to be here with you guys. Today, I am Shaunte Jemison. I am the founder and creator of Re-Imagine nonprofit located in Apopka, Florida.
What inspired you to start this organization?
During the pandemic, we worked with kids prior to the pandemic, but we were getting a lot of questions from parents trying to navigate through that difficult time and asking for the resources. And there were a lot of resources, but they didn't really know how to access them. So, because I had been in nonprofit for over 10 years, I thought, well, I can do this. And then I would have the direct access to help those families in need.
Oh, excellent. So you saw a need and you jumped in.
Yes, yes.
What programs do you offer?
My favorite is our literacy program, which is the Read Around the City program. That's probably my favorite because I love books. We also offer Creative Kid Zone, where we teach elementary school kids how to give back to their communities. So when you think of giving back or community service hours, most people tend to go to high school and college, but we start with elementary students. So we give them projects that they can do around the communities.
Why is it important to prioritize literacy at such a young age?
Considering Florida has one of the lowest literacy rates, kids from K through eighth grade, about half are reading below the reading level. So it's very important for us to start early, not just getting them the skills that they need, but changing their mindset when it comes to reading.
Tell us a little bit more about the programs.
My favorite is Read Around the City. And that program, we started because we noticed that my husband's a big sports buff. And so I saw how the community and all these people would rally around these athletes. And so I thought, what if we did that with literacy? What if we got our communities involved with literacy in the way that they cheer on athletes? Let's cheer on our students. And so we went out to local businesses. We went to our local municipalities and said, listen, we want to try something different. We want to do an education beyond the walls approach and a real community literacy program. And so we created a scavenger hunt around the city. And elementary students got incentives to go to these different businesses and show their maps. And they cheered them on to continue to read books. So it worked. In our first year, kids read over 2,000 books in 4 weeks. So it's been growing since then. And we really believe that if we get our schools and our communities involved with the local municipalities, I think all working together, we can change the dynamic of our students here in Florida.
Can you share some success stories that you've had?
Yes, so we get so many families that send us pictures of their kids going to the library or reading books during the summer, which was very hard to do. And our mindset was that you can give them as many tests as you want and throw as many programs, but if you don't change that mindset, and so it was very important for us not only to attack the children with the readings, but we also included their families. So we started hosting monthly reading parties, and we would invite the families to come out, and they would read 30 minutes with the students. So we kind of disguised learning with fun, and the parents started looking forward to that. And we give kids free books every month, so then they can go home and they can equate something fun with the books that they have, and so they continue reading. So we get so many texts and calls, or people, they will tag us on social media of their kids reading in the car. So they put down their phones and they pick up a book. And that to us is a success because we've changed their mindset when it comes to literacy, because these are kids that did not like to read, but now they're asking us, when's the next literacy party?
What are the most popular books you see the children reading?
Surprisingly, comic books. It is so, I never read a comic book before, but we had some kids that actually created their own comic books. So we encourage them, if you don't find a book that you like, write it. Tell your story, and we'll get you out there so that other people can listen to what you're doing. So finding ways to get them to be very creative, but I'm starting to be a comic book fan now. So yes.
So what's your favorite comic?
I haven't found my favorite yet. I would name one, but I have 2 kids that wrote comic books, so I'm going to hold that one until I finish both of their series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I love reading books from our local kids. So we've featured different artists here in Central Florida. We have some super amazing and talented kids here. And so reading their books and their stories, they become some of my favorite authors.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yes.
How can the community get more involved?
We're always looking for sponsors to help sponsor purchasing books for students because, like I said, we give away books every month to students. We also host local reading parties. So, if a business would like to host a reading party in their location, it gives them exposure to different families that may not have visited their location, but also they can take a part in our Read Around the City.
Is there anything else you'd like to share with our viewers?
Continue reading, push literacy, get excited about your kids reading, read with them, encourage them to continue to read more books, and let's change those statistics for Florida.
And how can people get in touch? What is your website or social media handles?
So you can visit our website. It's www.reimaginecommunities.org, or you can follow us on our social media, #@reimaginecommunities.
Great. Well, thank you so much for being here. I really enjoy reading and I really enjoy hearing these stories. And oh my gosh, I didn't know like the talent we have with students.
Yes, you guys have some amazing kids here. And thank you so much for listening to us, and keep reading.
Yes.
Keep reading.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what inspired you to start Page 15?
Well, I'm a local Orlandoan. I grew up in downtown Orlando. I was very fortunate to have a mother and a grandmother and family that really inspired a love of language and books and reading and writing. And so I didn't pursue the path of education. I pursued the path of business, but I felt really inspired to be able to share that love with other children and for them to kind of discover the power and potential of their own voice.
Can you tell us a little bit about Page 15?
Sure. So Page 15 is a language arts and empowerment nonprofit. We turned 15 years old this year. We were founded in 2008. We do supplemental creative writing programs for children throughout Orlando and Central Florida, but primarily in the Paramore neighborhood, which is where most of our programs are located. So we do after-school creative writing programs, we do in-school creative writing programs. We have a very large creative writing summer camp where our kids come and write their own story and publish a book at the end of the week. And we publish books by young people. So really just if it's young people writing and connecting with language, their own language, other books, other genres, that is what Page 15 does.
Okay, so is there a rule of thumb that you have a grandmother Teddy?
Yes. So,
Okay.
yes, my grandmother, Teddy, she was a big reader. She's no longer here with us. But when I was growing up, we would visit her at her fruit and vegetable farm in Western New York. And she always had a rule of thumb that when you started a book, you read to page 15 before giving up on the book. She grew up in the Depression and without a lot. And so I think she saw me kind of read a page and say, no thanks on that book, and read another and no thanks, and not really dig in. So it was the kind of rule of thumb that a grandmother shares with you that kind of just sticks. And that's where the name Page 15 came from.
Oh, okay. Well, I just figure if a book doesn't get me the first 3 pages, it's not a good book.
Yeah. Well, you got to stick to page 15.
Can you tell us about the Urban Think Foundation's mission and its impact on the community?
Sure. So our nonprofit was founded in 2008 as the Urban Think Foundation, which came from the name of a small independent bookstore located in Thornton Park called the Urban Think Bookstore that served there from 2000 to about 2010 when it closed. So when I started the program of Page 15, I held my first fundraiser in the Urban Think Bookstore, and that is what we started our foundation. So we're now known as Page 15, but the memories of the Urban Think Foundation are very near to us and dear to us. And so we really consider ourselves the legacy of the Urban Think Foundation.
What kind of programs and initiatives do you have in your organization?
Yeah, so Page 15 does a lot. We are a year-round program. So one of our biggest and most impactful programs is our After School Young Writer Society. And so this is operated out of the Grand Avenue Neighborhood Center and the Downtown Recreation Center, both in Paramore. We've been at the Downtown Rec for 15 years. And we are an after-school club. And so we bring young people together to write daily. So they're practicing writing, they're practicing using their authentic voice. So page 15 is really not about making mistakes or being graded or tested, and we're kind of about taking that pressure off. It's a relatively simple process. And so we do a lot of free writing. We have a lot of chances for the students to kind of connect with language in an authentic way, not through schooling or being punished for making mistakes, right? So, we believe that your voice matters. So really encouraging kids to connect with their own thoughts and ideas, and that really builds confidence. So after we write every single day, the students are getting up on our stage and sharing with the rest of their peers in the community what they're writing about. So that might be a short story or a poem, but it also might just be reflecting on their day. It might be more of a journaling kind of self-reflection process too. So that's one of our biggest programs. And then again, throughout the year, we've got summer camps and after-school programs and in-school programs and a lot of partnerships with other nonprofits to kind of bring our methodology and Page 15's vision into their programs.
How do you believe literacy support can make a difference in a young person's life, both academically and personally?
Sure. Well, language and a command of language literacy is really directly tied to many successes in life. There's a direct correlation between literacy levels in poverty, literacy levels in incarceration. So control and confidence in language is very important. Academically certainly, but also just as a human being with real feelings and emotions and experiences and traumas, to be able to express that and express your needs and express your desires, or just come to express yourself. All of that happens through our language. So whether it's written language or just being able to verbally communicate what you need. And then, certainly through relationships, or even at a doctor's office, or, even with a county commissioner, having language to convey what you want and what you need to succeed in life is just tremendously valuable.
Can you share a success story or a memorable moment from Page 15's work that highlights the impact you've had on a young individual? I like this question.
Sure. Yeah, me too. I always, really it's through, the kids' experiences, that we find so much joy, and why we keep coming back, because we've seen it time and time again. So there are so many. I love seeing kids come back to the program and knowing that we've been there in the same places for 15 years. And some of them are onto their own careers and lives, bringing their kids back, which is amazing. A recent one, which is really neat, that I was reminded about the other day, was we have a young girl who's come to our program. When she first started coming, she's in 7th grade now. When she first started coming to our program, I think she was in about 4th grade, and she came with her older sister. She was so shy. She could barely scratch out a few words on the paper. She would never get up on stage and perform. Even just communicating with her was just a whisper, a barely audible whisper. She's been coming to our program for years now. She has become an incredible poet. And I don't mean a poet good for a 7th grader. I mean good as a human being. She can reach and use language in a way that has been outstanding. And one of the things that I'm most proud of when I see her now is that she commands the stage with confidence. I think, language for her has been a tool to bring herself out and to make her more visible in the world, because she has so much to say and such a beautiful perspective on life. And now everybody gets to hear and see that.
Does she do any poetry stands or anything like that?
She does, yeah. So we've actually invited her. She most recently performed at our Pop-Up Poetry, which is a program that we have. It's Pop-Up Poetry in Paramore. So it's a poetry reading and luncheon that we host in downtown Orlando during April, which is National Poetry Month. So she's performed twice now. In the last 2 years, she's gotten up in front of a very big audience. So not just an audience of her peers, but an audience of community members and friends of Page 15, and it's been incredible to watch her grow.
What role do you see the community involvement playing in the success of literacy programs like Page 15?
Community involvement is vital to the success of Page 15 and our programs. Certainly when it comes to volunteering and being engaged with our programs, serving on our board is another wonderful opportunity that we always welcome interested community members to reach out to see if there's a place on our board that they can make a deeper impact. And then obviously, donating. We are a service nonprofit. We rely 100% on donations and grants and the support of our community to do our work and to have the impact in serving 600 children every year. So making a donation at page15.org/donate is incredibly valuable. And just coming in for a tour of our program and finding out a little bit more about what we do is it really helps us to spread the word of our mission and our impact.
And how can people learn more and stay in touch?
So reach out. Page15.org is our website. Check us out on social media. We're Page 15 Orlando. That's a really accessible way. We share a lot of fun stuff that we're doing in our programs, outside of our programs. So just connect with us that way. Come in for a tour and check our work out.
What advice would you give someone who wants to inspire a love for reading and learning in young people?
I would say we get this question a lot, specifically from parents. How can I get my kids writing and reading, and how do you do this magic that you do at Page 15? I would say, there's a lot, obviously, bringing them to Page 15, but really start reading and writing yourself. Journaling is a powerful, powerful tool for anybody, and writing is very accessible. It costs nothing. Most people have a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil in their homes. And so, practicing a daily writing routine, pick up a book, read, be interested in what your kids are reading, even if it is, a graphic novel or the cartoons in the Sunday newspaper, if anybody still even gets those. Whatever they're into, just, show interest in what they're reading and help them connect to wherever their interest lies.
We have a little quiz here, an activity.
Oh, fun.
Let's see if we could get these.
Okay. So students of all skill levels can find the freedom to express their creativity through storytelling, poetry, journalism, and creative writing. So the first one is our after-school program, the Young Writers Society, our summer camp, our high school creative writing contest, or our in-school programs.
I'll go with the first one, after school. Right?
Ding, 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 ding. Actually, it would have been correct if you had named any of them, because I think that the freedom to express their creativity through storytelling, poetry, or journalism is certainly something that we encourage in all. But yes, it is our after-school program. All right, question number 2. This program gives authors in 3rd through 12th grades the opportunity to write, illustrate, and publish their very own book with help from an amazing community of published authors, editors, and illustrators. All right, same choices. After School Young Writers Society, summer camps, high school creative writing contests, or our in-school programs.
It's 3rd to 12, so I'm going to go with the last one,
In-school programs?
In-school.
Unfortunately, that is not correct. So the answer is actually our summer camps. So our summer camps are where students in 3rd through 12th grades can come in and work with published authors and illustrators and write and design their own books.
That's really neat.
Yeah. All right, last question. This is our interactive creative writing opportunity offered directly to local classrooms through our annual contest. So this is our Young Writers Society after-school program, our summer camp, our high school creative writing contest, or our in-school programs.
The first one?
Nope, it is.
That's a trick.
This was a trick question, and it even had a contest. This was kind of a hard one to see, but yeah. So we have a creative writing contest throughout all of Orange County public high schools, and some private high schools as well. Submissions are sent in to a specific prompt. We pick 15. We publish them in a collection and an anthology. We have illustrate a unique piece for every piece, and then we publish it at our local downtown Orange County Public Library.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
great.
Thanks
Love
so
the
much.
programs. Those are neat.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Well, thanks so much. Definitely learned a lot about what you do, and it sounds like a great program.
Thank you. We are
If I
so
was young, I
proud.
would have loved to be involved with that.
I know. I think everybody that is involved feels the same way. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
If you're enjoying this show, please subscribe to our channel and follow our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter accounts.